It was a rainy Tuesday in downtown Seattle, the kind of day where the skis wept and people rushed inside for warmth. Inside a cozy little corner cafe called Sunrise Spoon, the windows were fogged from heat and laughter. The scent of cinnamon rolls and brewed coffee filled the room like a warm hug. At a table near the window, a boy sat in a wheelchair, his golden hair tousled, his legs limp and motionless. He couldn't move them. His name was Ethan Blake, and he was only 8 years old, cheerful in spirit, but trapped inside a body that didn't work like other kids his age. Ethan had been born with muscular dystrophy, and every day was a silent battle for strength. Feeding him gently, one piece of orange at a time, was a young waitress with bright eyes and a gentle smile. Her name was Jasmine Carter. Her uniform was simple, a pale blue shirt and tan apron, but the warmth she radiated made her unforgettable. She crouched beside Ethan, holding a plate of fruit in one hand, and with the other, she offered him a bite while whispering stories to keep him giggling. From the doorway, a tall man in a sharp suit stood still, frozen not from the cold outside, but from the scene in front of him. His name was Daniel Blake, one of the wealthiest tech billionaires on the West Coast. He was known for running companies, not being emotional. For years, he had hidden behind meetings, data, and boardrooms, letting nannies and nurses care for his disabled son while he buried himself in guilt, in work, in avoidance. But now, watching Jasmine feed Ethan with such patience and affection, watching Ethan laugh, something Daniel hadn't seen in weeks, something inside him cracked. He slowly walked in. The door chimed gently, and Jasmine turned. Oh, she stood up quickly, slightly embarrassed. I hope it's okay. He seemed hungry, and the nurse wasn't. Daniel held up a hand, his voice soft but firm. No, please continue. Jasmine gave a small nod and knelt beside Ethan again, offering him another slice of fruit. Ethan took it happily, beaming. Daniel couldn't stop watching. After the meal, while Jasmine cleaned the table, Daniel waited until she passed near the counter and stopped her. Can I ask you something? He said quietly. Of course, sir. Why did you help him like that? She blinked, confused, because he needed help and because he smiled, and honestly, I liked the way he looked at me like I mattered. Daniel studied her face. It wasn't just her kindness that struck him, it was her truth. In a world full of people who smiled at him for his money, she was different. From that day forward, Daniel and Ethan came back, again and again, always sitting in Jasmine's section, always watching how Ethan's mood changed when she was around. And Daniel started to change too. He began to leave work earlier. He learned how to feed Ethan the way Jasmine did. He watched how she spoke to him, slowly, gently, like she was talking with him, not to him. Ethan's speech improved. He started asking for Jasmine by name. And Daniel started looking forward to something other than work for the first time in years. But something wasn't right. One evening, Daniel walked in earlier than usual and found Jasmine near the kitchen. Her back was to him, and she was crying quietly, wiping her cheeks with her apron. She flinched when the manager yelled from inside, "You think this cafe runs on sympathy? You're lucky I even hired someone like you." Daniel's jaw tightened. He waited until she came out, pretending nothing was wrong. "Jasmine," he said gently, "are you okay?" She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Just tired, long shift." "Don't lie to me," Daniel said. "You help people, let someone help you for once." She hesitated. Then finally, in a trembling whisper, she told the truth. Her mother had died 2 years ago. Her father had walked out long before that. She was raising her little brother, Tyler, who had ADHD and needed special care. Rent was behind. Bills were piling up. And the manager, the same one who yelled at her daily, had threatened to fire her if she took another sick day. She had no one, but she kept showing up. For Ethan, for every customer, for her brother. Daniel stared at her, stunned. This woman, who was practically living paycheck to paycheck, had more strength than anyone in his $1 million boardroom. "Quit," he said. "What?" she gasped. "I'll hire you, full-time, as Ethan's caretaker. You already are, just unofficially. Come live at the estate. I'll pay for your brother's schooling, therapy, everything." She stared at him, speechless. But why? Because you didn't treat my son like a project. You treated him like a person, because you made him laugh when no one else could, and because you reminded me how to be a father again. Tears rolled down her cheeks. And she said yes. Everything changed. Jasmine moved into a guest cottage on Daniel's estate with her brother, Tyler. Ethan's face lit up every morning. Jasmine began working closely with Ethan's therapists. She brought music, stories, and hope into their lives. And Daniel, who had once drowned in loneliness and regret, started to smile more, laugh more, feel more. Jasmine's kindness wasn't just healing Ethan, it was healing him. Over time, Daniel and Jasmine grew closer. Slowly, gently, it wasn't a whirlwind romance, it was quiet glances, late-night talks, shared fears, shared hopes. Until one day, while watching the two kids play chess under a tree, Daniel turned to her and said, "You gave me back my son. I didn't even know I'd lost him." She smiled, "And you gave me a life I thought I'd never have." "I don't know how this happened," he said, "but I don't want it to end." He reached for her hand, and she didn't let go. A year later, they married in the garden, with Ethan wheeling down the aisle as the best man, and Tyler holding the rings with a proud grin. The cafe where it all began, Daniel bought it and gave it to Jasmine as a gift. She turned it into a community center for single moms and kids with disabilities, a place of warmth, healing, and second chances. Because one moment of kindness, one orange slice shared with a smiling boy, changed everything. And the billionaire, the waitress, the broken little boy, and the lonely girl's brother. They became a family. Not by blood, but by love. Stronger than anything money could ever buy.